Hello guys, today I'm going to analyze another of my chess games. As you might not know, I actually play chess and it's one of my favorite hobbies. And this is a great game I played. It has lots of sacrifices and tactics. So if you are pretty advanced in chess, then I recommend you to watch this video. But if you're a beginner or don't know how to play chess, then I don't recommend you to watch it. But if you want to, yeah, sure, you can enjoy the fun. But if you don't know how to play chess, then I recommend you to go to those three websites. So one of them is chess.com, the other is leadchess.org, and the last one is chessable.com. So you can learn to play chess and enjoy it. So without further ado, let's begin. So I go e4. This is my usual preparation. So he goes d6. This is called the Pirc Defense. My weapon is going to be shown afterwards. So let's just keep on going. So d4, I take good control of the center with my two pawns. So he goes here. He attacks my pawn. So I defend it. My knight. And then he goes d6. So he wants this bishop to go to this square. So the bishop has a great diagonal. It's called a fianchetto bishop when it's in between those pawns and the pawns are making good cover. So I go bishop g5. This move probably does not make a lot of sense, but let me show you what happens. I'm actually setting up a very sneaky chess trap. So let's just say if he goes bishop g7, I go e5, he takes, I take, and then it's very tempting for him to trade queens, but it's not good. So let's see where he moves the knight. Most likely they will go g4. So they attack the pawn with their knight and the bishop. Sorry. Oh my. Alright. So yeah, they attack the pawn. So the pawn is under attack by two attackers while it does not have a single defender. So I might try to go f4, which defends the pawn. It's okay, but it just lets knight e3 happen, and this is not very pleasant for him. For us. So like if I go here, for example, he could go bishop here, or he could just he can go here attacking the pawn, or he could just take the knight, which is fine. So yeah, let's go back. So here, so knight g4. Try to find the best move. It's not very obvious, but just try to pause the video. So I hope you found it. Is actually the move h3. You gambit the pawn. So what if the knight just takes? Now try to find the best move. I'll give you a few seconds. Okay, so the move is knight to d5. This knight is attacking this pawn, and the pawn is undefended. And it seems like black can defend it, but he actually can't. So, for example, if the knight goes to a6, defending the pawn, then we can just eliminate the knight. And the knight still goes here, attacking the king and the rook. So, what if the king defends it? So, well, I can go here. It's a discover check. while the knight is still attacking the rook. So this rook and the king are both under attack. So if the king just moves, then we can just take the knight. And this is just game. Okay, so instead of knight e6, so here. So white just wins. So it's a very nice trap. And also, the reason why we played h3, the reason why we played h3 was for the knight to take the pawn. Because if the bishop took the pawn, then he would be able to guard the square. Okay, so then this wouldn't work anymore, but we forced the knight to take the pawn. So if he goes like knight g4 here, we cannot do knight d5 because the bishop will take it. It defends the pawn. Okay. So let's go back. Ooh, sorry. So for example, if he goes knight h6, sorry. So we go h3. What if he goes knight h6? So we can go knight d5 and let him just lose a piece. Or we could just take this, right? Because if they take back, then we still have here, and this is still completely winning. This pawn is again undefendable because the bishop can't go here. So yeah, we just win. Okay, so let's go back to the game. He doesn't fall for the trap. During the game, I was pretty sad, but it's okay. Let's just play on. So bishop h4, keeping the tension. So if his knight moves, then he can't move the pawn. Wait, and also for the trap, it actually backfires. So if he go e5, he can take, but then he can go knight d7, and the game still continues. f4 and then knight c6. Normal game. Okay, let's go back. Sorry. So bishop h4, bishop c7. I go e5, so he goes there. Notice that only this pawn is defending this. It's only defending that. Because this pawn does not defend because of the bishop here. A very annoying bishop. It pins the queen. So just watch out. So f4, I strengthen the center. So I have 3 awesome pawns. This one defensive and this one defensive. So he castles. I go bishop c4. I try to attack his king. And c5. And pause the video. You can try to find the move. It's not that hard. I'll give you a few seconds. It's actually e takes d6, as I mentioned before. See, the pawn just moved out of the way so I can gain a free pawn. So he took, and I took. This is a pawn fork, but it actually doesn't work because he can go rook e8, and the rook defends. So if he goes queen e8, this is very bad for him because I can go knight d5, and this is very powerful. I'm threatening to go there. Sort of like the trap, except the king is replaced by queen. And this, the rook is like trapped, literally. It's like all of these are like, these pieces are surrounding the rook. The rook can't move, sadly. So, let's go back. So he went rook e8. And I went knight d3. Knight f3. I sacrificed the knight. And yeah, I'm gonna not show it. So try to find the best move if he takes the knight. I'll give you a few seconds. I hope you found it. The move is bishop takes f7. Very nice. Because if he takes, try to find the mate in one. Yeah, it's queen d5. Good job. This king is just, yeah, bad king. And then, like, yeah, it's just mate. It's like the double bishop's mate, like the bishop's mate, except the queen is replaced by a bishop. So pretty nice. So he goes king to h7, which, try to find a move. Sorry. So try to find it. So the move is bishop takes g6. So it's a great move because if the king takes, I can go knight to e5 and I can unpin it. So for example, if the bishop just takes, then I take the queen. But if the knight takes, then I can still take the queen, and this is just great. If he goes here, no, he shouldn't, because I'll just take the record check. But yeah, this is just game over. Okay, so, or maybe you can go queen d3 instead. If the king goes to f7, then go queen d5. The king goes to g6, and you can also go knight e5, or you can, yeah. So let's just, yeah, just go knight. Keep it simple. So let's go back. So here, he found the trick, and then queen e2. I unpin the so this rook doesn't have a square to go to. It doesn't work. So he goes queen to a5, trying to attack my king. And he's at the same time trying to attack the pawn. So let's see what you deal with this. I'll give you a few seconds and pause the video. So I hope you found it. It's b4. You attack the queen. Sorry. You attack the queen. And then you also do not let him take this. It's just because en passant happens when the pawn is over here, not over here. Okay. So he goes queen d5. If he just takes the pawn, then I can just take the rook. And then, so he decides to go queen d5, and I take the rook, knight goes here. So if I move the bishop, then if I promote, then the knight can just take. So I decide to eliminate the knight since the knight defends the promotion square. He takes, and I go bishop g6. I make way for my pawn, and then, yeah, this is very powerful. So he just resigned here. So overall, this game was pretty nice by me. So let's just summarize it. So e4, d6, the Pirc defense, and then I try to lay the trap. So bishop g7, e5. And I hope you can play this trap yourself. And rook takes, knight b4. Sorry, you go h3, he takes, and then you go knight d5. So yeah, and he goes h6. I go for the same trap. Because if he takes. Then I can still go h3 and it's the same game. And also, if you're wondering why he can't go knight b5, it's because he can go knight a6 and this bishop doesn't have this way to block it. So I can't eliminate the defender and the knight's just good there. So yeah. And then knight f3, g7, f4. I straightened the center. Castle, bishop c4, c5. He blundered a pawn, rook e8, knight f3, and bishop takes f7. So if king takes f7, queen d5, and king h7, bishop takes c6. And then the key moment here is b4. And then queen d5, bishop takes, eliminate the defender, and just bishop c6. And then, yeah. So this is my game, and it's one of my best games ever. So I hope to see you next time.